The moment Remi pressed her lips against Mackenzie's on that crowded Santa Monica beach, the world as they knew it cracked wide open. What had been a safe, unbreakable friendship for 7 years suddenly became a live wire of forbidden want, family dread, and a future neither of them had ever planned. Remi pulled back first, salt air stinging her eyes, heart slamming so hard she thought the lifeguards might hear it. Mackenzie stood frozen, fingertips hovering over her own mouth like she could still feel the ghost of the kiss, blue eyes wide with shock that hadn't yet turned into anger. They had driven down from Los Angeles that morning for what was supposed to be the perfect escape. Remi's camera bag slung over one shoulder, Mackenzie's med school flashcards tucked in the glove box, both pretending the tension that had been simmering since Mackenzie's breakup with Tyler 2 weeks earlier didn't exist. The beach was packed with families and surfers, the sun high and merciless. Mackenzie had been crying quietly about how lost she felt, how nothing made sense anymore, and Remi, had just leaned in without thinking, years of secret longing finally breaking free. Now the waves kept crashing like nothing had changed, but everything had. Remi, what the hell? Mackenzie whispered, voice barely carrying over the roar. Remi's hands shook as she shoved them into the pockets of her cut-off shorts. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't plan it. It just happened. They walked away from the water in silence, sand sticking to their legs, strangers glancing at them like they could smell the shift in the air. Back at the car, Mackenzie gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles went white. We're not talking about this right now, she said, but her voice cracked on the last word. The drive home to their cramped Silver Lake apartment was 40 minutes of hell. Radio on low, traffic crawling, both of them staring straight ahead. Remi kept replaying the kiss in her head, the softness of Mackenzie's lips, the tiny surprised inhale, the way her own chest had felt like it was caving in with relief and terror at the same time. Mackenzie kept swallowing hard, like she was trying to push the memory back down. When they finally parked, Remi reached for the door handle. Mac, please. Say something. Mackenzie turned to her, eyes glassy. I don't know what to say. I've never. Remi, you're my best friend. You're supposed to be safe. The words landed like stones. Inside the apartment they sat on opposite ends of the couch they had picked out together at IKEA. The city lights flickered through the blinds. Remi talked first, voice raw. I've been in love with you since sophomore year. I buried it. I dated guys. I smiled through every story about your crushes. I told myself it would pass. But it never did. And today I just couldn't anymore. Mackenzie listened, tears sliding down her cheeks. She didn't yell. She didn't run. She just sat there, processing, the weight of it pressing her into the cushions. I need time, she finally said. I can't lose you, but I don't know how to do this. They went to bed in separate rooms for the first time in years. Remi lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if she had just destroyed the only person who had ever truly seen her. The next morning Mackenzie left for campus before Remi woke up. A single text waited on the kitchen counter. We'll figure it out. Don't disappear on me. Remi clutched the phone like a lifeline. She spent the day shooting street portraits downtown, trying to lose herself in the lens, but every frame felt empty. That night they ordered Thai food and ate in careful silence, the kiss hanging between them like smoke. Remi wanted to reach across the table. Mackenzie kept her hands in her lap. The distance was new, terrifying, and already starting to hurt more than any rejection ever could. By the end of the week the pretending had cracks. Mackenzie's laughter came a beat too late. Remi's hugs ended a second too soon. Their mutual friend group noticed something was off, but chalked it up to girl drama. Remi's phone buzzed constantly with texts from her mother back in Austin. Reminders about church, questions about any nice boys at school. The usual pressure to live the life her strict Baptist parents had mapped out since birth. Mackenzie's parents called from Illinois every Sunday, proud of their straight-A daughter heading to medical school, expecting her to marry well and give them grandkids. Neither girl mentioned the beach, but the secret was already growing teeth. Monday morning Remi woke to Mackenzie standing in the kitchen in scrubs, coffee in hand, eyes puffy. I kissed you back, Mackenzie said without preamble. The words dropped between them like a live grenade. Remi's stomach flipped. For half a second. Then I panicked. Mackenzie set the mug down hard. I keep replaying it. I keep feeling it. And I hate that I don't hate it. They stood 3 feet apart, the refrigerator humming like it was judging them. Remi took one careful step closer. You don't have to label anything. We can just be honest. That's all I'm asking. Mackenzie's laugh was bitter. Honest? My parents think I'm bringing home a doctor husband next Christmas. Your mom still sends me Bible verses about choosing the right path. Honest is a luxury we don't have. They spent the day orbiting each other, Remi editing photos at the coffee table, Mackenzie highlighting textbooks on the couch, both hyper-aware of every brush of shoulders. At dinner, Mackenzie's phone lit up with a photo from an unknown number. A blurry shot of the kiss, taken by some beach stranger who had posted it to a local Facebook group. Two girls making out in Santa Monica. Cute or what? The caption already had 200 likes. Mackenzie's face went ash-white. Oh God. Someone saw. Remi grabbed the phone, heart sinking. The picture wasn't clear enough to identify them for sure, but anyone who knew them would know. Delete it. Report it. We can say it's not us. But the damage was already spreading. By evening, 3 classmates had texted Mackenzie asking if it was her. That night they locked the doors and turned off the lights like they were hiding from the world. Remi sat on the floor beside the couch where Mackenzie curled up. I'm sorry I dragged you into this, she whispered. Mackenzie reached down and laced their fingers together for the first time since the beach. You didn't drag me. I let it happen. That's what scares me. They fell asleep like that, hands linked, the city noise outside a distant roar. Tuesday brought the first real blow. Remi's mother called at 7 a.m. Honey, someone sent me a picture. Is that you? With a girl. Remi froze in the hallway, phone pressed to her ear. Mom, it's just a dumb meme. People are bored. The lie tasted like metal. Her mother's voice rose. Don't you lie to me. Your father is already praying. You know what this looks like. You know what the church will say. Remi hung up shaking. Mackenzie found her in the bathroom, splashing cold water on her face. They know, Remi said. Mackenzie pulled her into a hug that felt different now. Protective, desperate. Then we fight it together. Or we run. But we decide together. The week ground on. Mackenzie's ex-boyfriend Tyler saw the photo and texted her a single word. Really? Then posted a vague subtweet about people changing overnight. Campus whispers started. Remi's photography professor pulled her aside after class. Everything okay at home? You seem distracted. Mackenzie's study group canceled without explanation. The pressure built like a storm over the Pacific. Slow, heavy, inevitable. Remi lay awake nights wondering if love was supposed to cost this much. Mackenzie stared at her reflection, asking if she was brave enough to find out. By Friday, the photo had been reposted on a conservative Instagram account with the caption, "What liberal California is doing to our kids." Comments called them sinners, confused attention seekers. Remi's aunt in Texas forwarded it to the whole family group chat. Mackenzie's father left a voicemail. We raised you better than this nonsense. Call us. The two women sat on their balcony at 2 a.m., sharing one blanket, city lights blurring through tears. I can't lose my family, Mackenzie whispered. Remi's voice was steady even though her heart wasn't. I already feel like I'm losing mine. But I'm not losing you. Not if you still want me here. Mackenzie rested her head on Remi's shoulder. I do. God help me, I do. The kiss they shared that night was softer, slower, full of fear and promise. It wasn't the beach anymore. It was a choice. The first family confrontation happened on a rainy Saturday in October. Remi's parents flew in unannounced, booked a hotel in downtown LA, and demanded a meeting at a neutral coffee shop near campus. Mackenzie insisted on coming. We're in this together, she said, squeezing Remi's hand in the car. They walked in to find Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez already seated, faces carved with disappointment. Remi's mother spoke first, voice low and trembling. We saw the picture. We prayed. We fasted. And we still can't believe our daughter would choose this lifestyle. Remi's father stared at Mackenzie like she was the devil incarnate. You corrupted her. She was raised right. Remi's chest tightened until breathing hurt. Nobody corrupted anyone. I felt this way for years. I hid it because I knew you'd react exactly like this. Her mother slid a worn Bible across the table. This isn't you. This is confusion. Come home. We'll get you counseling. Real counseling. Mackenzie's hand found Remi's under the table, a silent anchor. Mrs. Alvarez, I love your daughter. Not as a phase. As her. And I'm terrified too, but running away won't fix it. The words landed like stones in still water. Remi's father stood so fast the chair scraped. Love? This is lust dressed up as love. You both need help. They stormed out, leaving the Bible behind like a verdict. That night Remi cried in Mackenzie's arms for the first time since the beach. They're never going to accept me. Mackenzie rocked her gently. Then we build our own family. You and me. Whatever that looks like. But the next morning Mackenzie's phone rang. Her own parents on speaker. We heard from your aunt. Is this true? Are you dating a girl? Mackenzie's voice stayed calm even as tears fell. Her name is Remi. And yes. The silence on the other end lasted forever. Her father finally spoke. We paid for your education expecting you to honor God and us. This ends now or you're on your own for tuition next semester. The line went dead. The following week campus life became a minefield. Tyler started a rumor that Mackenzie had turned gay to get attention. Study partners dropped her. Remi's scholarship advisor called her in. The donor is very conservative. We need to talk about your social media presence. They spent evenings deleting old photos, blocking numbers, trying to disappear online. But the damage kept spreading. Remi's younger brother texted her privately. Mom's crying every night. Dad won't speak your name. Is she really worth it? Remi stared at the message until the screen blurred. Mackenzie read it over her shoulder. Tell him the truth. Tell him I'm worth everything to you. Remi typed back. She is. And I'm still your sister. That hasn't changed. The betrayal that broke them came on Halloween. Their mutual friend Sarah, who had sworn secrecy, posted a throwback photo of the three of them with the caption, "Some friendships were never meant to stay platonic." The comments exploded. Old classmates piled on. Remi's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Mackenzie threw hers across the room. She promised. She promised she wouldn't say anything. They sat on the floor surrounded by candy they couldn't eat. The apartment dark except for the streetlight glow. Remi pulled Mackenzie close. People are scared of what they don't understand. We knew this would happen. Mackenzie's voice was small. I'm starting to wonder if I'm strong enough. Remi kissed her forehead. Then lean on me. I've been strong enough for both of us for years. Thanksgiving break arrived like a guillotine. Remi's parents refused to let her come home. Mackenzie's parents offered a plane ticket only if she came alone and left that phase in California. They spent the holiday in their tiny apartment cooking a makeshift dinner, turkey sandwiches and boxed stuffing, while outside the city celebrated without them. Remi's phone stayed silent except for one text from her brother. They're having dinner without you. It feels wrong. Mackenzie cried into the potatoes. My mom sent me an article about reparative therapy. I can't believe this is my life now. The university holiday party was the next battlefield. They decided to go together, hand in hand, as a quiet declaration. The moment they walked in, conversations died. Tyler was there, smirking. Cute couple. He muttered loud enough for half the room to hear. Mackenzie's lab partner turned away. Remi's photography club friends offered awkward hugs but kept distance. They lasted 40 minutes before the stares became too heavy. Outside in the cold night air, Mackenzie leaned against the building. I feel like a circus exhibit. Remi cupped her face. You're not an exhibit. You're the bravest person I know. They kissed right there under the street lamp, defiant and trembling, not caring who saw. December brought finals and fresh ultimatums. Remi's department head called her in. The conservative scholarship donor had complained. Half her funding was gone unless she toned down her personal life. Mackenzie's parents wired one last tuition payment with a note. Use it to come home and get help. They sat at the kitchen table with spreadsheets and tears, calculating how to survive on Remi's part-time cafe job and Mackenzie's tiny research stipend. We could move to a cheaper place, Remi suggested. Mackenzie shook her head. Or I could drop out for a semester. Get a job. Keep us afloat. Remi stared at her. You can't give up med school. That's your dream. Mackenzie's smile was sad. My dream changed the day you kissed me. Now the dream is us. Christmas Eve they exchanged tiny gifts. Remi gave Mackenzie a framed photo of the two of them at the beach before the kiss. Mackenzie gave Remi a silver necklace with a tiny wave charm. "So you remember where it started," she whispered. They lay on the couch watching old movies, the city quiet for once. But at midnight Mackenzie's phone lit up with a message from her mother. "We're praying you come to your senses. Merry Christmas." Remi watched the tears fall and felt something harden inside her chest. "We don't need their approval. We only need each other." Mackenzie nodded, but the doubt in her eyes lingered like frost. January brought the coldest week of the year and the deepest crack in their foundation. Mackenzie's med school advisor pulled her aside after a lecture. "Your grades are slipping. Rumors say personal issues. If it affects your performance, we may need to discuss your standing." Mackenzie came home shaking. "I'm losing everything I worked for." Remi held her tight. "We'll fix it. I'll take more shifts. You study. I'll cook, clean, whatever." But inside Remi was terrified. She was the reason Mackenzie's future was crumbling. The betrayal deepened when Sarah, remorseful now, showed up at their door with flowers and apologies. "I thought it would blow over. I didn't know it would get this bad." Mackenzie let her in, but the trust was gone. They talked for hours. Sarah admitted Tyler had pressured her for details. Remi listened in silence, fists clenched. When Sarah left, Mackenzie turned to her. "I don't know who to trust anymore except you." Remi kissed her softly. "Then trust this. I will fight for us every single day." Valentine's Day they spent quietly. Remi cooked pasta, Mackenzie brought home cheap wine. They danced in the living room to old songs, laughing for the first time in weeks. But the laughter died when Remi's brother called. "Mom had a breakdown. She says if you don't come home and repent she'll never speak to you again." Remi hung up and stared at the wall. Mackenzie wrapped her arms around her from behind. "You don't have to choose between me and them." Remi turned, eyes fierce. "I already chose. The day I kissed you I chose you. I'm just scared you'll regret it." Mackenzie kissed her hard. "Never. Not for 1 second." March brought the final family standoff. Both sets of parents flew in together, an intervention arranged through Sarah's mother. They met at a church downtown, neutral ground. Remi and Mackenzie walked in holding hands, heads high. The parents laid out their case. Therapy, separation, prayer. Mackenzie's father quoted scripture. Remi's mother cried. The girls listened, then spoke in turn. "We love each other," Mackenzie said simply. "And we're not broken." Remi added, "We're not asking for your blessing. We're asking you to let us live." The room exploded. Accusations flew. Doors slammed. The girls walked out into the rain, soaked and free and utterly alone. April brought the last test. Mackenzie received an official letter. Academic probation unless she improved immediately. Remi's landlord raised the rent, citing neighborhood complaints. They sat on the balcony at dawn. Coffee gone cold, city waking below them. "We could move to Oregon," Remi said quietly. "Start over. New jobs, new school transfer." Mackenzie stared at the sunrise. "Or I could finish the semester, graduate, and we face whatever comes next here." Their eyes met. Years of friendship, months of love, countless tears and kisses had led to this single choice. Remi took Mackenzie's hands. "Whatever we decide, the price is already paid. Families lost. Friends gone. Dreams delayed. But I would pay it again every day for you." Mackenzie smiled through fresh tears. "Then let's stay. Fight here. Build something they can't touch." They kissed as the sun climbed higher. The same ocean wind that had once carried their first kiss now carrying hope. In the end, was Remi's choice to follow her heart on that Santa Monica beach the right one? Or did the destruction it caused to both their families make it unforgivably wrong?